Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2715 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. Today's podcast title is Zion's Global Citizenship, the Mother of All Nations. It's a trek through Psalm 87, verses 1 through 7. Today we embark on a truly extraordinary trek through Psalm 87, covering its entirety in verses 1 through 7 in the New Living Translation. This psalm, though short, contains one of the most magnificent and radical prophetic visions in all of Scripture. It's the expansion of God's people to include all nations, with Zion as their spiritual birthplace. After the personal lament of David in Psalm 86, where he affirmed that you alone are God, and prayed for a sign of divine favor, Psalm 87 gives us a cosmic answer. God's universal sovereignty, which David proclaimed, is revealed here in a sovereign plan to bring all nations that worship God, those pagan gods, Psalm 86 verse 8, into the fold of his redeemed people. It transforms the physical city of Jerusalem into a spiritual mother of a global family. The psalm offers a breathtaking vision of inclusivity, unity, and hope. It assures us that in God's plan, it's not confined to one place or one people, but extends to encompass the entire world. So let's open our hearts to this global prophetic masterpiece and grasp the meaning of Zion's ultimate citizenship. The first section is the foundation of God's global home. Psalm 87 verses 1 through 3. On the holy mountain stands a city founded by the Lord. He loves the city of Jerusalem more than any other city in Israel. O city of God, glorious things are said of you. Now we have an interlude. The psalm begins with firmly establishing the foundation and significance of God's chosen city. On the holy mountain stands a city founded by the Lord. This refers, of course, to Mount Zion, the site of Jerusalem and the temple. The city's foundation is unique. It is founded by the Lord. This wasn't merely a strategic military outpost. It's a sovereign choice by God, making it the center of his earthly operations and the place where he has chosen to place his name. This divine choice elevates Jerusalem above every other place. The psalmist emphasizes the depths of God's affection for the city. He loves the city of Jerusalem more than any other city in Israel. While God certainly loved all of his covenant people and their territories, Jerusalem, where his temple was located, held a unique and profound place in his heart. This divine love is the source of the city's power and destiny. And the result of this divine foundation and the affection of his glorious reputation, O city of God, glorious things are said of you. And then there's an interlude. Now these glorious things, which is a Hebrew word, naphthala'at, and God's wondrous deeds and promises. The declaration is a prophetic forecast of Zion's future fame, where its status as God's chosen people and a dwelling place would be known and celebrated throughout the world. The very title, City of God, elevates it to the realm of eternal and transcendent, connecting it to heavenly reality where God holds his divine counsel, making it the spiritual capital of the universe. The interlude gives a moment to contemplate this profound truth. The physical city of Jerusalem is the object of God's unique love and a starting point for his global plan. The second section is a radical vision of global citizenship. And this is Psalm 87, verses 4 through 6. I will record among those who acknowledge me the names of those in Rahab and Babylon, Philistia and Tyre, and even distant Ethiopia. This one was born in Zion, and it will be said of Jerusalem, everyone who enjoys the right of citizenship, and the Most High will personally bless the city. The Lord will record the registry of the nations. This one was born in Zion. This is where the psalmist shifts from a mere geographical to a radical theology. God himself speaks here, laying out his inclusive plan for all the nations. I will record among those who acknowledge me the names of Rahab and Babylon, Philistia and Tyre, and even distant Ethiopia. The list of nations is deliberately shocking to the ancient Israelite ear. These are not friendly neighbors. They are traditional, often brutal enemies and world powers that threaten and oppose Israel. Rahab is a poetic, symbolic name for Egypt, Israel's ancient master and oppressor. Babylon is the city of exile, the destroyer of the temple. Philistia and Tyre were long-standing local adversaries, and Ethiopia, and another word for that is Cush, represented a distant, unknown limits of the earth. By saying he will record these names among those who acknowledge him, God is prophesying that salvation will reach the fiercest of all Israel's enemies and the furthest reaches of the world. He will now enroll them, granting them covenant status. The central declaration of the psalm follows a redefining spiritual identity. This one was born in Zion. This is a miraculous claim. Citizens of these formerly hostile nations, the Egyptians, Babylonians, Philistines, will be granted the highest spiritual honor. They will be declared as born in Zion. In the ancient world, to be born in a city granted you citizenships, right, and privileges. The psalmist is saying that God will grant spiritual citizenship in Zion to those who previously were outsiders and enemies. The prophecy continues, underscoring the universal scope of the spiritual birthplace. And it will be said of Jerusalem, everyone enjoys the rights of citizenship here, and the Most High will personally bless this city. The blessing is no longer exclusive. Everyone, or the Hebrew word kol, who turns to God will share in the privileges of Zion. This establishes Jerusalem as the city of God. As the spiritual capital of all people, regardless of their physical origin, they can claim their true spiritual birthright. This is a beautiful foreshadowing of a new covenant, where all believers, whether Jew or Gentile, are citizens of heavenly Jerusalem, according to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22. And because of this divine action, the Most High will personally bless this city. This third section is the triumph of Zion's foundation. And this is Psalm 87, verse 7. The singers and the dancers will say, all my fresh springs are in Zion. The psalm concludes with a vibrant image of a celebration and a final, profound affirmation of Zion's ultimate role. The singers and dancers will say, all my fresh springs are in Zion. This is a scene of joyous worship, where those who have been redeemed, including the former enemies, are now recognized as citizens of Zion, expressing their gratitude through music and movement. This final phrase, all my fresh springs are in Zion, is a summary statement of the global restoration. In the ancient world, a spring was a source of life, fertility, and refreshment, far more valuable than a mere cistern or a well. This psalmist declares the ultimate source of spiritual life, vitality, cleansing, and joy is not in the Nile, Egypt, or the Euphrates, Babylon, or the rain, but entirely in Zion. All that sustains us, all that renews us, and all that gives us life and purpose flows from the presence of God found in His chosen city. This contrasts sharply with the desperate pleas of God's presence in previous laments. In Psalm 80, the people cried out for a divine gardener to return his vineyard and restore their spring. In Psalm 87, assures us that the spring is eternal and will be shared by all the nations. The physical place of God's dwelling has become a spiritual wellspring of the world. Psalm 87, in its entirety, is a magnificent revelation of God's universal heart. Its transformation of a national focus of an earlier psalm to global vision, where God's love will break down the barriers of hostility, grant spiritual citizenship to the former enemies, and establish Zion as the mother city, from which all spiritual life flows. It is the ultimate answer to the humble plea for God's favor. God's favor is indeed for all who trust in Him. What profound wisdom can we draw from this extraordinary psalm from our Wisdom Trek today? Firstly, the psalm validates the truth that God is a God of global inclusion. His power and salvation is not just tribal or national. It extends to all nations, even those we consider our greatest enemies. This is the heart of God's redemptive plan. Secondly, it reminds us that our true spiritual identity is spiritual and not geographical. Our lineage is defined by our spiritual birthplace. Our citizenship is in the city of God. No matter where we are physically, we can claim the rights and the privileges of Zion in a place where God's presence dwells. And thirdly, the image of a fresh spring teaches us to draw our sustenance from Him. Our true source of life, joy, and spiritual renewal is only found in the presence of God. We must continually turn our hearts toward Him, knowing that all good things flow from that divine wellspring. And finally, the psalmist gives us a prophetic hope, a vision of unity where people from every hostile background, Rahab, Babylon, Philistia, will stand together, declaring that they were born in Zion. Our ultimate destination is not a separation, but a glorious, unified course of global praise. Let us live today as citizens of Zion, drawing deeply from the fresh springs and proclaiming the glorious things that are said of the city of God. If you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.